Des Power was an academic who was recruited to Griffith very proactively from Victoria in the early 1980s, who was then, and until the time of his death, a luminary in the area of education of deaf and hard of hearing children. He was the first professor of education of the deaf in the country who'd come from that background. He was a friend, a mentor, an amazing researcher, and somebody who really launched the careers of countless people in our field, not least of which countless deaf and hard of hearing people who were given the opportunity to become students, not just teachers, but students at this university because of the program in support for deaf students that he instigated. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Look, I as another touchstone with Griffith University, I'm proud to be able to say that my father-in-law was one of the very early academic staff members of the university, Dr. Jack Briggs. Jack was head of the mathematics ed department for a long period of time and a well-respected teacher, and I was delighted when just after his death the university agreed to name a building after Jack. So the Jack Briggs Annex on the back of the science building is named in honour of Dr. Jack Briggs, who many will remember as a brilliant mathematics educator, but I remember, of course, as a much-loved father-in-law. I don't think there's been a time in my teaching career when I haven't referenced something that I learned as an undergraduate or in my Bachelor of Education Studies here at Griffith University. Just about every point in my career has some reference point back to Griffith. The scholarship that took me to the United States was on the recommendation of a Griffith staff member who suggested that I should do that. The references, the referees' reports that got me into that scholarship are on the back of colleagues and mentors here at Griffith who suggested that was something that I should do. All of those things conspire to have created what, from my perspective, has been a wonderful career of opportunity in a field that I was introduced to as a 17-year-old. It's quite amazing, really.